Every single tall girl listening right now knows the struggle of trying to find clothes that fit properly. We have the clothes that quite frankly aren't long enough. We have the clothes that are long enough, but the proportions are just horrendous, like the pair of pants is only long enough because the crotch is practically to your knees. Now that's a whole episode for another day. And we also have the brands that basically lie about their clothing being tall friendly. Whichever struggle we face the most, it honestly feels like our options are pretty limited. Well, at least when it comes to in-person shopping. So we take our search online, hopefully to find other tall girls reviewing clothes that fit them. Maybe you stumble across a video of a girly reviewing a pair of jeans. Those jeans fit her well, and they even drag on the floor a little bit. She claims that they're tall girl friendly or tall friendly, and you're excited, ready to figure out the brand of the jeans so you can go and purchase it, and the girl in the video says, "Oh, by the way, I'm 5'6". You know, she really had us there for a second. Anyway, so today we're discussing how some of the short girlies are lying about how certain clothing items are tall girl friendly and the potential reason why they do that. So let's get into it. Good morning, everybody. You are currently listening to A Tall Girls podcast, hosted by a tall girl named India. I hope everyone who is tuning in today is doing super fantastic. Before I get into this episode, I do want to say, make sure you're following me on my socials at A Tall Girls podcast on Instagram, TikTok, and Pinterest so that you can stay up to date on all of the latest podcast episodes and catch a glimpse of my everyday life. Also, feel free to leave me a review and let me know how tall you are. I'm genuinely curious. I also have a monthly newsletter. Make sure you subscribe to that. Everything is going to be linked in the description. If you're a tall girl listening to this right now, tell me if you've had any of these experiences. Long sleeves basically being 3/4 sleeves. Jeans fitting more like capris. Dresses not covering your hoo-ha. Honestly, shopping had always felt like a hopeless experience, especially growing up. I did ask you guys in a poll over on Instagram, and I'm going to do a quick little plug here. Make sure you follow me at A Tall Girls Podcast on Instagram so you can participate in these polls and have your opinions heard on these episodes. But I did ask you guys in a poll, tall girls, where do you typically shop for clothes? 71% of you guys said online, 2% said in-store, and 27% said a mix of both. I do have a little bit of success in store, especially like, let's say I'm going thrifting. I found some good things when I went thrifting, but let's say I'm getting like a short sleeve shirt or whatever, in person is fine. But like a majority of it, I have to order online. Pants, dresses, shorts, and I even order a lot of my long sleeves online too. I've gotten long sleeves from American Tall. Love that. Love them. They're so soft, so stretchy, and so long. I'm going off on a tangent here, but a good 85% for me is done online and 15% is in store. So yes, honestly, a mix of both. In-person shopping is quite literally embarrassing. Low key, do y'all remember me talking about my days of shopping in the women's section of JCPenney? And JCPenney back then honestly didn't really have the most flattering designs. Okay, well they did, but they did in the teen section, but I was too tall for the teen section at that time. And what was I, like, fifth grade, like fourth, fifth, even sixth grade, I was already too tall for the teen section. So I would be shopping in the women's section. And I felt like I was basically dressing like a mom. And listen, no tea, no shade to the moms out there. Like there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that me as like a younger person, or just like any younger person, you want to dress like your peers. You want to dress like young and vibrant, but everything for me was like dull and drab. I'm so sorry. I do not mean to offend anybody, but my peers, the girls in the class, my friends, they would all shop at Claire's and Justice, and everything was so bright and vibrant and loud and glitter and all of that stuff. And that's typically how kids dress. Well, at least back then, because how kids dress now is very different, but we're not going to get into that. Anyways, typically kids want to dress in stuff like that, but I couldn't because I couldn't fit the stuff in there. So I would walk in already self-conscious on the dress down days because I went to a Catholic school actually from 3rd to 8th grade. So we would mainly wear uniforms, but we would have dress down days where we'd have to pay $1 to be able to dress down. And honestly, where was that dollar going? That's what I need to know. Anyways, But I would go in already feeling self-conscious on dress down days because I'm like, oh, like I already know I'm not dressing like how my friends are gonna dress. But then on top of that, my friends would make fun of me for basically wearing granny clothes. So yeah. But now I'm actually too tall for the women's section of JCPenney. So that's very interesting. And I'm sure, like many tall girls, I don't really have the luxury of being able to easily shop in person. Being tall honestly takes the fun out of shopping in person because you just want to try the clothes on. That's part of the experience. But when you walk into a store, you know that nothing in there is going to be long enough for you. So you resort to shopping online. And honestly, even that can be a hit or miss. What I try to do, and honestly, this is a bit of a pro tip, what I try to do is I order the clothing online, the tall clothing online, and then I try to do pickup in store. So like Gap does that, Old Navy does that, American Eagle does that as well. Zara also does that too, and I also believe Banana Republic. I try to order it online, like on the website, and then I pick it up in store. So once I go to pick it up, I could just try it on right then and there, and then just return it right away if it doesn't work or if it doesn't fit. That has honestly saved a lot of time and energy and maybe even some money. So, pro tip, try to do that. However, I can't just walk into a store like, for example, H&M, or even honestly the ones that I listed, the Gap, the American Eagle, because they don't even sell their tall clothes in store like that. Maybe Old Navy, one or two designs, one or two pairs of like jeans or pants, but that's like really it. Other than that, I can't just walk into a store and just find a pair of jeans, find a pair of pants, even find like a long sleeve shirt or like a jacket or something, unless it specifically says full length or specifically says tall or long or whatever. And for the most part, it doesn't. And even so, it can be labeled as tall, it can be labeled as long, but that doesn't actually mean that it's gonna be long enough. And it sucks because I'm a short, tall girl. If it's not long enough in a short, tall girl, like who's fitting in those items? Anyways, let's hear a few tall girl experiences.
Let's talk about shopping struggles when you're a tall girl, and if you're tall, you can relate to this. It's probably impossible for you to find a pair of jeans that fits you because nothing actually goes down to your ankles. And then if you do find a pair of jeans that actually goes down to your ankles, chances are like the waist doesn't fit right, so obviously it just doesn't work. So many jackets probably are just like way too short on the arms, and it's really hard to find shoes that fit your feet.
So how tall are you?
I am I'm about 6'1".
180. Okay. And how do you find shopping tall at the moment? Or in general?
Tough. Yeah. Always been tough, especially trousers, jeans, they never fit.
I have to do everything online. And when I was younger, it was very, very difficult. I can't just go into any old shop and just buy anything because I know that the arms won't be long enough, the legs won't be long enough, just everything's a bit of an issue.
If they fit around my waist, they're too short, and if they fit in length, they're just too wide.
So you're having to buy a size bigger in order for it to fit?
Yeah, and then I usually need like a belt.
If it doesn't fit, I have to send it back.
Yeah.
So
exhausting, right?
Yes, it is. Yeah, it is.
Now, over the years, the tall girls have found success online with online shopping because a lot of the tall options have been made more available online. And because these clothing options are online, we heavily rely on online reviews, online hauls, online try-ons to better understand if those tall clothing items are worth spending our money on and worth, I don't want to say wasting our time on, but going through the depths of the internet trying to find it, because I'm not going to lie to you, a lot of tall clothing items are like always sold out and it's so annoying, but whatever. But basically we rely on people trying it on online, whether it's like through pictures to see how it fits that person or through videos and just giving their review and their recommendations and so forth. We rely on all of that to see if we should buy that tall clothing item. However, not all reviews and try-ons and hauls are helpful because there are people who claim that the items that they're trying on are tall friendly, but that person that's trying it on and saying that isn't even tall themselves. I'm just going to get straight to the point here. The tall girls are being lied to by the short girls. You know the short girlies whose jeans will drag a little bit on the ground, and so they'll claim that those jeans are tall girl friendly, but then casually mention that they're 5'6"? Yeah. I don't think we all share the same definition of tall girl friendly. I'm just going to play an example really quickly, and no tea, no shade to this creator, okay? She's doing what she got to do. She's doing what she loves doing with creating content and so forth. It's just that I don't really agree with her on her idea of what tall girl friendly is, but it's going to make more sense when you listen to it, so I'll play it right now.
I ordered these girlfriend They're the Sarah Super High Rise Slim Straight. They fit just like the Kate. They're perfect for tall girls. I'm 5'5", and they're a little long on me, so if I want to wear them with sneakers, I'll like cuff them, or I can just get them hemmed.
Now, in this video, she said that she's 5'5", and for the audio listeners, she was basically trying on a pair of jeans, and the jeans were like around her heel. Actually, it went a little bit past her heel. It basically went past her ankle, and she was trying it on, so basically like the jeans were like touching the ground, but she was on her tippy toes to show that the jeans kind of like went a little bit past her heel, like the heel of her foot. Now, as a 5'10"-ish girl looking at this, I could look at the jeans and just automatically tell that that wasn't even going to be long enough for me. Like, it would be right above my ankles if I'm lucky. But, you know, she's not the only one. There are other 5'5", 5'6", 5'7" girlies out here giving clothing reviews, giving recommendations of clothing items that are considered tall girl friendly, because for them, it's a little bit longer. Maybe it's a little bit past their ankle. Maybe it's dragging on the ground for them. And because of that, they're saying that it's tall girl friendly. And I think I mentioned this in another episode, but the term tall girl friendly is just being thrown around so much that it's practically lost all of its meaning. Let's hear what other tall girls have to say about this.
I'm in traffic and I really just have something to say. This might ruffle a few feathers, but I really could care less. You know what really grinds my gears, truly? The girls that be on here like, oh my god, this is tall girl friendly. Whether they're talking about a pair of jeans, some leggings, a sweatshirt, whatever. And they be like 5'5". Don't piss me off. Don't piss me off, bro. Don't piss me off. Because I really thought you had something important to say, and then you blew me. I just feel like, I don't care what Google say. If Google tell you 5'5" is a tall girl, that's on Google. When has Google ever got it right for real? Exactly. I feel like 5'9" and up. 5'9" and up, I really need some jeans. I really need some cute cargos for the wintertime. And if I type in tall girl friendly cargos, I don't want the first recommendation to be somebody that's 5'5". Don't piss me off.
I'm here with my rant of the day about tall girl friendly clothing, okay? Because if I see one more girl who's 5'3" talking about some pants being tall girl friendly, how do you even know? You're not tall. Like 5'3", I think 5'4" is like the average height for a woman. I myself am like 5'7" and a half. The half is really closer to 5'8", and I have a hell of a time finding pants that fit me how I want to fit me. And I'm talking specifically like more tailored pants, like a jean or a dress slack, because I have a long torso and long legs. And it is so frustrating. Y'all be on here like, oh, these pants are tall girl friendly. Well, how do you know? You're not a tall girl. And I feel for the girls who are like legitimately tall, like 5'9", 5'10" and above, because where do y'all buy your clothes? Because they don't sell them in stores. We have to order everything online and then try it on to see if it fits. Help.
I don't know how many times I'll have to say this, and it's fine. I'll say it. I'll stick up for the tall girls. But the girls who are like 5'6", even 5'7", and under, please, 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 for the life of me, stop trying on pants and saying, it's tall girl friendly. Just because you're on your tippy toes does not mean it's going to fit someone who's 5'11". Okay, thank you.
I did ask you guys in a poll, have you ever seen girlies under 5'7" claim their fashion finds are tall girl friendly? 61% of you guys said yes, way too many times. 24% said every once in a while, and 15% said no, never. I'm actually surprised that 61% said way too many times. I'm not gonna lie to you, I've only seen like probably 3 videos of like girlies under 5'7". More so, I've seen girlies 5'7" and 5'8" claiming they have like tall girl friendly finds. But under that, I've only probably seen about 3 videos. There are videos of tall girlies out there complaining about this, complaining how they've seen 5'6", 5'5", 5'7" girlies saying, yeah, like these are tall girl friendly and da 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 da. So very, very interesting. But for the most part, we've all seen at least one video of a girly who's under 5'7" claiming that their fashion finds are tall girl friendly. And it's crazy to me. It's wild. Now, why is this the case? Why are the short girlies basically lying to us about certain clothing items being tall girl friendly. Hopefully, I mean, listen, I'm making it seem like they're doing this on purpose. I don't think it's intentional. I don't think it's on purpose. I just think that we all can't really agree on what's tall for a woman. So here's my take. There are different categories of tall for a woman. 5'6" to right under 5'9" is above average. 5'9" to right under 6 feet is short tall. 6 feet to right under 6'4" is average tall. And then 6'4" and up is tall. Just my opinion. Don't come for me. But if you're a girly in the above average category, I don't think you should be speaking on what's considered tall girl friendly when it comes to clothes. But listen, it varies from country to country. There are countries with different average heights for a woman. Like I know in America it's like around 5'4", but let's say in a place like the Netherlands, for example, I don't know right off the top of my head, but it's probably taller than that, like 5'7", 5'8", 5'9", who knows. But it really does vary from country to country, so it's dependent on where you're located to fully understand like what's considered tall for a woman. Do whatever you want with the information that I just gave you. Okay. But the point of this is the tall girlies heavily rely on these reviews, on these try-ons, on these hauls, like it's their lifeline. Because we can't always believe like the clothing or whatever or how it fits. Like we can't always believe how it is on the model, because a lot of times a lot of these things are custom made to fit the actual model. Sometimes they edit things a certain way. Sometimes they pin things in the back to make it seem like, oh, it fits this way and it's going to make you look that way. But then when you get it in the mail, it looks nothing like that. Also, you may have a different body type than the models that they have. Like there are just so many factors, and we honestly rely on real, okay, not to say that the models aren't real people. The models are real people, but we rely on the average everyday person, I guess you could say, like the people who have similar body types to us, and the people who may not, fingers crossed, hopefully, who may not edit their videos to look a certain way or their pictures to look a certain way. We rely on those people to truly understand how the clothing item is going to fit on us, because we can't just go and try it on, you know? We can't try it on and see it ourselves. So we want to know, should we be spending our money on this item? And the way that we try to figure that out is to see how other people try it on, to see how the clothing item fits on other tall women with our body types, our body shapes. But when you have these shorter girlies, or even let's say above average girlies, who are wearing these items and claiming that they're tall girl friendly because it's a little bit longer on their legs, it can honestly be misleading and very confusing, especially if they're just throwing around the word tall girl friendly, but they don't even say how tall they are. They don't say any of their measurements, but they're like, oh yeah, like it's tall girl friendly. It's like, how can we really tell for sure? You can't really tell somebody's height or measurements like that based on a video, especially if they angle it a certain way. So it's really hard for us to make these decisions based on what these other women are saying, and it's like we could very well just be wasting our money and wasting our time on it. Or if you're like me, and it's like if you're not 110% and you're just super confused by it, you just don't buy it at all. And it's like, oh, like, are you missing out on a potentially actually good tall girl friendly product? You see what I mean here? So yeah, I definitely just wanted to give my 2 cents on that. And yeah, I don't think that they're really doing it on purpose. I just think that we all kind of need to agree on what can be considered tall. Or honestly, I think we should go about things a little bit differently in that realm. But I just want to say that there are options out there for us tall girlies. There is hope out there for us. As I said earlier, you know, there are a lot of online stores, or a lot of websites now that are offering tall options. There are also a lot of tall specific options online. So we do have hope for finding tall clothing. And I actually did a TikTok video of this. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna play it here. One thing about being a tall girl is we can never find clothes. Well, until now. For as long as this podcast has existed, the tall girlies have been asking for some good tall girl friendly brands. And today I'm here to deliver the answer. Some more mainstream picks are Gap, Old Navy, Banana Republic, Athleta, Abercrombie, American Eagle, just to name a few. They've been getting more height inclusive over the years, but I feel like they mostly work for the short tall girls, like 5'9" to 6'1"-ish. But there are girls who are taller than that and have longer inseams. That's when you check out the tall specific brands. A great place to start is Tall Size, which basically has a bunch of tall brands in one place. They got Elevated Closet, Paris Style, Live Tall, and so much more. Hodier UK is also the same vibe as Tall Size. We also can't forget about American Tall and Long Tall Sally. Just make sure you know your measurements because for the most part, you can only really get tall online. And I'm still waiting for the day that there will be tall sections in store or physical locations for these tall brands. We also now have a lot of tall girl influencers out there that are offering a lot of reviews and try-ons and stuff and talking about different brands and products that are actually made for the tall girlies. We have One Tall Order, we have Tall Mom Finds, we have 6 Foot a Bay. Also, they're all on Instagram, by the way. I think I'm just gonna link them in the description. I'm actually gonna link a lot of things in the description. I'm gonna try to do that, so that you guys just have like the opportunity to look through it and just, see what's out there for us. But going back to my previous point that we need to do more than just say our height. Like we can't just be saying, oh, like, yeah, like I'm 5'7" and da 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 da, because we also have to understand that everybody's body proportions are different. So there could be, like, let's say, for example, I'm 5'10", around 5'10", and there could be also another girl who's around 5'10". We could have completely different proportions. The reason I'm tall is because I have really long legs, but I have an average torso. But she may have a very long torso and average legs. Is that even possible? Average legs? She just may have shorter legs than me, but a longer torso than me, and that's how we're the same height. You get what I'm trying to say? And so the tall girl influencers that I just mentioned, they give more than their height. They actually give some of their measurements, and that's the thing. If you're going to review tall girl friendly clothing, you should be giving more than just your height. We need other measurements. What's your inseam? Your wingspan? Do you know the length of your torso? Exactly. Those are actually going to help the tall girls make an informed decision about whether or not to buy that clothing item. Also, there are tall girl Facebook groups out there that I'm actually in a couple of them. I'm also going to link those below. I'm going to link a lot of things in the description for you guys. So make sure you take a look at those. But there are tall girl Facebook groups out there where the tall girlies are sharing the different items that they've purchased, whether online or in store, and they're saying the brand, they're giving their height, their other measurements and so forth, and basically saying if the items are actually good or if they're bad, if they're worth it or not worth it. So I definitely recommend checking those out as well. The point here is there is hope out there for us. The tall girls have really banded together over the past few years and really formed this community and honestly formed a bunch of like resources for us to be able to find clothing that actually fit our length. And then also there are other tall women out there who went on and even started their own brands, tall girl specific brands, to give us the options that we have been looking for so long. So the point here is there's hope, there's options. We just need to go to the right place to find it. We need to stick to the tall specific groups, Facebook groups, the tall girl influencers. If they don't say their height and they're saying it's tall girl friendly, don't trust it. Don't trust it at all. That is my number one thing. If you don't say any measurements, you don't say your height or anything, I automatically don't trust it. I don't trust you, like, at all. The source is not credible. We just need to be careful and we need to get the right information from the right people. So yeah, that's all I have to say. So if you've been swindled, bamboozled, are those even the correct terms? Either one of those things, swindled, bamboozled by an above average girly or a short girly saying that an item is tall girl friendly and you purchase it and it doesn't fit, it's not long enough, there's absolutely nothing wrong with you, okay? It's just that the term tall girl friendly, tall friendly, whatever it may be, any other synonyms, it's just being thrown around so much. And it could get to the point where a lot of these people are using it in a very misleading way. So I recommend sticking to all of the things that I told you, looking in the description and seeing what's out there for us. I recommend sticking to those because We're fighting for our lives out here, the tall girlies. Anyways, I'm going to end the episode here. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate you. Of course, as always, feel free to hit me up on my socials at A Tall Girls Podcast and let me know what you thought about this episode. Have you been bamboozled or swindled by a short girly saying that something is tall friendly and you purchase it and it's not really the case? Are there any other tall influencers or resources or anything that you recommend for the tall girlies so we can find clothes that properly fit us? Let me know your thoughts. DMs are open. Comments are open. Let's have a chat about it. Let's put each other on. That's the whole point of this. Oh my gosh. Also, today is my first day of grad school, y'all. Wait, by the time this episode is up, not the time I'm recording this, by the time this episode is up, it'll be my first day of grad school. Wish me luck. Send me a DM wishing me luck. Oh my gosh. Am I nervous? I'm a little bit nervous. I don't know. It's a Sunday right now, so I'm not nervous. I don't think I'm going to feel it till the actual day. But if you listen to this point in the episode on the Thursday or maybe like a Friday or whenever you're listening to this, send me a DM and ask me, or comment below and ask me how my first day of grad school was. I will definitely appreciate that, and I'll tell y'all about it. I'll also talk about it in my newsletter too, so make sure you subscribe to that. But anyways, gonna end the episode here. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate every single person who tunes into my episodes and, engages with me on social media and so forth. You guys are awesome. And yeah, I will catch you guys in the next one. Good night and goodbye.